Hey everyone, this is Michael again, and welcome to the Saturday Night's Main Event review. Saturday Night's Main Event was from the Nassau Coliseum in Long Island, here in New York, and this was the first Saturday Night's Main Event that WWE has done since 2008. Yes, it's been that long since we've seen a Saturday Night's Main Event, but Saturday Night's Main Event, I really enjoyed the presentation of it. I really liked how it felt very old school, and they had the long aisleway, the setup where they end up walking out, just made it look really good and very, like I said, old schoolish. It felt like we were transported back to the '80s because of the look. And they had the red, white, and blue ropes, ring ropes, which was a nice touch. And they also used the old school WWF logo, but of course they didn't, use the F. But it was shown on the turnbuckles, which was cool, and a very nice intro that WWE did for Saturday Night's Main Event tonight, where it just showcased, old school, footage, like of Hulk Hogan and Macho Man Randy Savage, Roddy Piper. Very nice intro that they did. And Saturday Night's Main Event, I thought it was a very enjoyable show tonight. Even though, the matches in the end, were predictable, but still, it was a enjoyable show. Long Island, the crowd there made some noise, and I was very interested in the show. The show held my attention. And tonight on the show, we had Drew McIntyre. He had taken on Sami Zayn. We had the Women's World Championship on the line, where Liv Morgan defended the title against Io Sky. We had the World Heavyweight Championship being defended in a triple threat match. Gunther defended the title against Finn Balor and Damian Priest. And we also had the final Women's United States Championship match in the Women's United States Championship tournament. It was Chelsea Green versus Michin. Of course, Michin and Chelsea Green end up winning their semifinals match last night on SmackDown. And the main event, we had the Undisputed WWE Championship on the line, where Cody Rhodes defended the title against Kevin Owens. And for one night tonight, we saw the return of the Winged Eagle Championship, which the Winged Eagle still looks very beautiful today, as it did back in the day. Of course, it was retired in 1998. Because Stone Cold Steve Austin was the last person to hold on to the Winged Eagle belt. But still looks beautiful. WWE needs to make the Winged Eagle belt, permanent, and not just for one night only. It looks better than any other title that we see today currently. But overall, Saturday Night's Main Event, very enjoyable show was. And the next Saturday Night's Main Event is going to be happening next month on the 25th. It's going to take place in San Antonio, Texas. But that's when the next Saturday Night's Main Event is going to be. But anyway, let's jump right into the review. Saturday Night's Main Event opened up tonight with Drew McIntyre versus Sami Zayn. This was the first match of the night. Forgot to say, Jesse Ventura was present there, because Jesse Ventura ended up, doing commentary for Saturday Night's Main Event back in the day. And the only match that he called commentary on was the main event, Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens. But Drew McIntyre and Sami Zayn, this was a very enjoyable match, a very physical match between the both of them. So Sami Zayn ended up charging at McIntyre as the bell ended up ringing. So Sami Zayn started punching away at McIntyre. McIntyre threw Sami Zayn off, and he took off his ring jacket. Sami Zayn then popped up and started punching McIntyre again, but McIntyre delivered a chop to Sami Zayn, taking him down. And what I really liked is that throughout the night, the referees, they were wearing the classic, baby blue collared shirt, the black pants, and the black bow tie, a throwback to, how the refs, looked in the 80s, going into the early 90s, the early to mid 90s. So, thought that was a very nice touch there. So McIntyre then ended up backing Sami Zayn to the corner. He started chopping Sami Zayn. And Sami Zayn ended up ducking a chop from McIntyre. Sami Zayn started chopping away at McIntyre's chest. He ended up taking McIntyre into the corner and delivered the 10 punches. Sami Zayn ended up delivering some more punches to McIntyre. He then clotheslined McIntyre over the top rope. Sami Zayn then went to the apron and he kicked McIntyre back. Sami Zayn then ended up wiping McIntyre out with a slingshot moonsault block to the floor, which looked great. Sami Zayn then ended up getting McIntyre in the ring. McIntyre greeted Sami Zayn with some chops, and he ended up sending Sami Zayn into the ropes. But Sami Zayn ended up hanging on to the ropes. McIntyre then charged at Sami, but Sami pulled the top rope down to get McIntyre out of the ring. Sami then ended up going for a plancha to McIntyre, but McIntyre ended up catching Sami Zayn. McIntyre then ended up slinging Sami Zayn over the commentary table. So then Saturday Night's main event went to commercial. Then when Saturday Night's main event came back from the commercial, McIntyre was in control of the match. McIntyre ended up taking it to Sami Zayn with some chops. Sami Zayn started fighting back at McIntyre, but McIntyre backed Sami into the corner, and McIntyre then delivered a overhead belly-to-belly suplex to Sami. McIntyre then started mouthing Sami Zayn, and he started punching away at him. McIntyre then ended up sending Sami into the ropes, but McIntyre lowered his head, and Sami Zayn delivered a kick to McIntyre. So McIntyre ended up angrily charging at Sami Zayn, but Sami Zayn elbowed McIntyre back. McIntyre ended up going to charge again at Sami, but Sami connected with a boot to McIntyre's face. Sami Zayn followed that up with a diving axe handle off the second rope. So McIntyre was furious. He charged at Sami Zayn. Sami moved out of the way. McIntyre went shoulder first into the ring post. Sami then set up for the haluva kick, but McIntyre ended up booting Sami back. And then he pinned a double-A spinebuster to Sami. McIntyre then ended up catching Sami with a jackknife pin. So McIntyre went for the cover, and Sami ended up kicking out at 2. McIntyre ended up following that up with a sit-out powerbomb to Sami. So McIntyre went for the cover. Sami kicked out. McIntyre then ended up lifting Sami onto his shoulders. McIntyre climbed to the second rope. He was setting up for the super white noise, but Sami Zayn countered that with a sunset flip powerbomb from the second rope, which looked great. That was a great spot there by Sami Zayn. So Sami Zayn ended up going for the cover, and McIntyre kicked out. Sami ended up going for the Blue Thunder Bomb. It got blocked by McIntyre. Sami Zayn then powered McIntyre up. McIntyre ended up fighting out. McIntyre ended up delivering the Glasgow kiss to Sami. McIntyre then sized Sami up to hit the Claymore. And of course, you had the fans going 3, 2, 1, ready for McIntyre to hit the Claymore. But Sami ended up booting McIntyre in the face, and he delivered the Blue Thunder Bomb. So Sami ended up going for the cover. McIntyre ended up kicking out. So Sami got to his feet and he fired the crowd up. The crowd made some noise. They were behind Sami Zayn. Sami ended up going for the haluva kick, but McIntyre got out of the ring. McIntyre saved himself from taking a haluva kick from Sami. Sami then ended up chasing McIntyre out of the ring. McIntyre got back into the ring, as did Sami Zayn. And as Sami Zayn got back into the ring, McIntyre just laid out Sami Zayn with the Claymore. So McIntyre ended up going for the cover. And there you go. Drew McIntyre ended up winning the match. Overall, this was a good match here between Drew McIntyre and Sami Zayn here. And next, Drew McIntyre's opponent will possibly be Jimmy Uso, since Drew McIntyre ended up attacking Jimmy. So that's going to be his next opponent. And then, as Saturday night's main event came back from the commercial, a couple of Hall of Famers were present in the arena. We saw Tito Santana, of course, Hall of Famer. We had Rich Herron, who was one of the key people in WWE, early years. And then we saw Jimmy Hart, the Mouth of the South. Of course, he had his megaphone in hand. And Jimmy Hart, does he ever age? He still looks the same like he did in the 80s. So, God bless Jimmy Hart for still looking the same as he did back in the 80s. And then we had Io Sky versus Liv Morgan. This was for the Women's World Championship. And this was a solid match here. Of course, we had Liv Morgan being accompanied by Raquel Rodriguez and Dominic Mysterio. And they let Liv Morgan walk down the aisleway alone. And you also had Dakota Kai and Kairi Sane. They accompanied Io, but then they headed to the back. So the match got underway. We had Liv Morgan taking Io Sky down. Io Sky kipped up, and she ended up challenging Liv Morgan. Sky ended up hitting the ropes. She ended up doing some handsprings, but Liv Morgan ended up drop kicking Sky down. Liv Morgan then connected with a running back elbow, and she ended up rolling away, and Io Sky ended up flooring Liv Morgan with a drop kick. Io Sky connected with a flapjack on Liv, to which she ended up going for the cover, and Liv ended up kicking out. Io ended up sending Liv Morgan into the corner. She charged at Morgan, but Liv Morgan ended up twisting away. Io Sky ended up joining Liv Morgan on the apron, and Io started attacking her. Io ended up going for a German suplex on the apron to Liv Morgan, but Liv Morgan ended up elbowing Io away. Liv Morgan ended up going for a sunset flip powerbomb to the floor, but Io ended up holding on to the ropes. Io then ended up kicking Liv Morgan back, and she then ended up hitting a side moonsault onto Liv Morgan on the floor. So that was cool. So Saturday night's main event went to the commercial, and then as Saturday night's main event came back from the commercial, Io Sky was in control of the match. She ended up delivering a double stomp onto Liv Morgan's midsection. Io ended up connecting with a pair of clotheslines to Liv Morgan, which she then followed up with a drop kick. So Io ended up doing a double kip up. Liv Morgan then ended up rolling out of the ring. Io Sky caught Liv Morgan with a tope suicida. Io then ended up getting Liv Morgan in the ring, and she ended up hitting a springboard missile drop kick. So Io ended up going for the cover, and Liv Morgan ended up kicking out. Io ended up going for the bullet train in the corner, but Liv Morgan moved out of the way, and Liv Morgan ended up hitting the backstabber to Io. Liv Morgan followed up that backstabber with a code breaker off the second rope. She then ended up going for the cover, and Io ended up kicking out. So Liv Morgan ended up charging at Io. Io ended up booting Liv Morgan back. Io ended up connecting with a German suplex to Liv Morgan. She ended up rolling through the bridge, and she ended up hitting a second German suplex. Io rolled through the bridge and ended up hitting a third German suplex with a bridge onto Liv Morgan. So she went for the cover, and Liv ended up kicking out. But it was really cool to see that. 3 German suplexes. Io ended up rolling through a bridge, and then she bridged after the second German suplex. That was cool. So Io ended up headed to the top rope. Liv Morgan cut Io off. Io ended up knocking Liv back. She ended up going for a springboard, but Io ended up slipping. So that was a bad move right there for Io. Liv Morgan immediately ended up catching Io with a code breaker. So Liv Morgan ended up going for the cover, and Io ended up kicking out. So at the end of the match, we had Liv Morgan end up stunning Io with a step-up enziguri. Io ended up quickly taking Liv down with a crossface, but Liv Morgan rolled through. Io ended up kneeing Liv Morgan hard in the face. Like, her knee directly ended up connecting with Liv Morgan's face. So Io connected with a bullet train. She ended up going up to the top rope for over the moonsault. And as soon as she hit that over the moonsault, Liv Morgan got her feet up. Liv Morgan then ended up catching Io with the Oblivion. So Liv ended up going for the cover, and there you go. Liv Morgan ended up winning the match, retaining the Women's World Championship. Post-match, we saw Liv Morgan's nose was bleeding from that knee strike from Io. And then Liv Morgan celebrated with Dominic and Raquel Rodriguez, near the entranceway. And then Rhea Ripley walked out. Rhea Ripley ended up walking out to confront Liv Morgan. Rhea Ripley ended up staring at Liv Morgan, and they were just staring coldly at each other as Liv Morgan ended up raising her Women's World Championship up in the air. So this is going to be next. Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan again for the Women's World Championship, and Rhea Ripley will be taking back the Women's World Championship, the title that she never lost. But overall, solid match it was between Liv Morgan and Io Sky. And then we had the World Heavyweight Championship. Triple threat match with the title on the line. Gunther defended the title against Finn Balor and Damian Priest. And this was a good match here. You had Finn Balor and Damian Priest ended up coming out. Finn Balor had a bag over his head, which I don't know why. I don't know why Balor had a bag over his head. So the match ended up getting underway. Priest went right after Balor, as usual. Same old between Balor and Priest. We've seen them go at it before. So Balor got away, and he ended up attacking Gunther. Priest ended up going for Balor again. Balor ended up escaping. Gunther then ended up attacking Priest. Balor ended up rolling Gunther up, to which Gunther kicked out. Priest and Gunther started punching at Balor. Gunther then ended up booting Priest in the face. Priest then knocked Gunther to the apron, and he kicked Gunther to the floor. Priest then hit the ropes, and he wiped out Gunther with a somersault senton, which that somersault senton almost nearly came up short for Priest. So then, Saturday night's main event went to commercial. Then, when it came back from commercial, Priest was in control of the match. He ended up attacking Balor. He knocked Balor into the corner. He ended up charging at Balor, but Gunther cut Priest off with a big boot. Gunther then ended up booting Balor in the face, and he was now fired up. Gunther was now fired up. Priest started to fight back at Gunther with some kicks. Gunther blocked the kick from Priest, and he chopped Priest down, and Gunther then applied a Boston Crab. Balor then chopped at Gunther, which that only upsetted Gunther. So that chop did nothing for Gunther from Balor. Balor then hit the ropes, but Gunther chopped Balor. Balor ended up ducking a second chop from Gunther, and he hit the Pele kick. Priest then ended up wiping both Balor and Gunther out with a double clothesline. So Priest then got fired up. Gunther came back and chopped Priest. Priest then responded to Gunther with some stiff chops and also a punch. Priest then focused on Balor and started unloading on Balor with some strikes to take Balor down. Priest ended up going back and forth, hitting Balor and Gunther with some running back elbows. Gunther then dropped Priest on the apron, but Priest ended up blocking a chop. Priest then ended up wrenching Gunther's arm, and he climbed to the top rope. And he ended up, entering his Undertaker, where he ended up going old school, and he ended up pinning the elbow on Gunther. So nice of Priest to do that, find his inner Undertaker, and deliver that elbow, going old school. So then Priest ended up hitting Gunther with a crossbody block. He popped up and he hit Balor with a flatliner. Priest then ended up setting up for the Razor's Edge on Balor, but Gunther kicked Priest to break up the Razor's Edge. Gunther ended up going to hit Priest with a powerbomb, but Priest got out. Priest then ended up sending Gunther up. Balor took Priest out with a sling blade. Gunther ended up sending Balor into the ropes. Balor then ducked the clothesline, and he hit the sling blade to Gunther. Balor then ended up charging for the Woo drop kick, but Gunther countered with a sleeper hold on Balor. Priest then booted Gunther down, and Balor ended up rolling Gunther up, to which Gunther ended up kicking out. So at the end of the match, we had Gunther end up applying a sleeper hold on Damian Priest at ringside, and Gunther delivered this vicious powerbomb to Damian Priest onto the ring steps. So Gunther got into the ring, and he hit Balor with a drop kick. Gunther immediately followed up with a powerbomb on Balor. So Gunther went for the cover, and there you go. Gunther ended up winning the match, retaining the World Heavyweight Championship. Overall, very good triple threat match this was. Of course, Gunther was going to come out victorious in this match and retain the World Heavyweight Championship. But enjoyable match it was. And then we had the Women's United States Championship match. This was the final match in the tournament. Chelsea Green versus Michin. Of course, Chelsea Green was accompanied by Piper Niven. Of course, the winner of this match will be the first ever Women's United States Champion. And Chelsea Green, she got some pops from the crowd. People want to see Chelsea Green as the Women's United States Champion. And this was a solid match here. And this is a historic match, to crown the first ever Women's United States Champion. So the match got underway. Michin ended up avoiding a big boot from Chelsea. Chelsea ducked the kick from Michin, and she started talking trash to her. Michin ended up hitting a snapmare and applied a rear chin lock on Chelsea. Chelsea ended up twisting out of that chin lock, but Michin ended up hitting an arm drag on her. Michin then ended up hitting another arm drag on Chelsea. Chelsea ended up avoiding the third arm drag, and she slapped Michin in the face and sent her out of the ring. So Michin then started punching Chelsea as she ended up attempting a tope suicida. Michin then ended up applying a modified tarantula on Chelsea over the second rope. Chelsea then got away, and she distracted the referee. Now, you know that Piper Niven is going to get into the match here and interfere. And Piper Niven did. Piper Niven grabbed Michin and slammed her on the floor. So that was how Saturday night's main event went to commercial here. And then as the show came back from commercial, Chelsea Green was in control of the match. She ended up charging for the Rough Rider, but Michin countered out with a powerbomb. Michin then connected with a release German suplex to Chelsea. Michin then ended up hitting the second release German suplex, and she connected with a tornado DDT. She went for the cover, and Chelsea kicked out. Michin was sent up for the Eat Defeat, but Chelsea ended up getting out, and she tried to go for the Unprettier, which Michin ended up escaping out of that. Chelsea ended up catching Michin with the Rough Rider, and she ended up going for the cover, and Michin ended up kicking out. Chelsea ended up going to dive at Michin from the apron, but Michin moved out of the way. Piper Niven then caught Chelsea, and she fell over a bit, which that led to Michin wiping out both Chelsea and Piper Niven with a cannonball off the apron. So Michin then ended up hitting Piper Niven with the Eat Defeat on the floor. So Michin ended up getting into the ring. Chelsea ended up going for the Unprettier, but Michin ended up rolling Chelsea up, to which Chelsea ended up kicking out. Michin then ended up hitting the Eat Defeat, but she didn't get all of it on Chelsea. So Michin ended up going for the cover. Chelsea ended up putting her foot on the bottom rope to break up the pin. Michin then ended up lifting Chelsea, and she ended up putting her on the top rope. Michin started rocking Chelsea with some slaps to her face. Piper Niven got on the ring apron to distract Michin. Chelsea then ended up knocking Michin back. Michin then knocked Piper Niven off the apron. Chelsea then ended up slapping Michin, and she flipped off the second rope into the Unprettier, which that was great. That was a great spot there. So Chelsea ended up going for the cover, and there you go. Chelsea Green ended up winning the match, and Chelsea Green is your first ever Women's United States Champion, which we all knew was going to happen. You know, when I saw Michin win last night on SmackDown and Chelsea won her match, I'm like, okay, they're giving the title to Chelsea Green, which, you know, we all knew was going to happen. But very happy for Chelsea. You know, she deserves this win. And the crowd ended up popping for Chelsea when she won it. So post-match, Nick Aldis ended up giving Chelsea the Women's United States Championship. Piper Niven ended up putting Chelsea on her shoulder. Of course, we had Pyro end up going off for, you know, Chelsea becoming the inaugural Women's United States Champion. So Chelsea made history tonight. But overall, enjoyable match it was between Chelsea Green and Michin. Even though we all knew how the match was going to end with Chelsea winning the title. And then we went into the crowd and we saw more Hall of Famers there in attendance. We saw Greg the Hammer Valentine and also Coco Beware were present there. You know, two, you know, good Hall of Famers. And then we had the main event. Kevin Owens versus Cody Rhodes. This is for the Undisputed WWE Championship. We had Jesse Ventura on commentary here. It was good to hear Jesse Ventura back on commentary. He absolutely did a good job. And he was joined with Michael Cole and also Pat McAfee, who returned tonight to the commentary table with Michael Cole. We all miss Pat McAfee on commentary, but he will be back full time, starting with the January 6th Monday Night Raw on Netflix. You know, its debut on Netflix. But this was a good match in my opinion, but the ending was kind of lame in my opinion. Of course, Cody Rhodes ended up coming out. He wore the classic Winged Eagle Championship, which was first used by, of course, Hulk Hogan, and it was last seen in 1998 with Stone Cold Steve Austin. And this was the only time that the title will be used, the Winged Eagle title will be used. This is one night only. I think that WWE should bring the Winged Eagle back permanently, because it is such a beautiful title and it looks better than any other title that WWE has got today. And you think of all the guys that have held that Winged Eagle Championship, from Hulk Hogan to Shawn Michaels, The Undertaker, Bret Hart, Macho Man Randy Savage, Stone Cold Steve Austin, who was the last person to hold that title, and he retired it after WrestleMania 14. So think of all those guys that have held that title. And Cody Rhodes is the next guy that held that title, just for one night only, and that was tonight. But yeah, please, WWE, please bring back the Winged Eagle Championship permanently. It's just a beautiful looking belt, and that belt is brought, and guys end up bringing prestige to that belt. But the match got underway. Kevin Owens immediately got out of the ring after the bell rang. Owens started sauntering around the ring, and he looked at the Winged Eagle Championship. Kevin Owens ended up slowly getting into the ring, but he ended up dropping down, and he got out when Cody Rhodes ended up charging at him. Cody Rhodes ended up falling out of the ring, and Cody then attacked Owens. Cody Rhodes ended up backing Owens into the apron, and he then slammed Owens off of the commentary table. Cody Rhodes then ended up getting Owens in the ring. Owens quickly got back out of the ring. Rhodes then ended up hitting a tope suicida onto Kevin Owens, and he ended up grabbing his ankle. Of course, is injured. Cody then ended up getting Owens in the ring. He dropped down for an uppercut to Owens. Cody ended up going for a vertical suplex to Owens, but Owens fought out of that. Cody ended up fighting back, and he hit a front suplex to Owens. Owens then rolled out of the ring to recover. Cody ended up following Owens out, and Owens ended up tackling Cody spine first into the ring post. Owens then ended up slamming Cody off of the commentary table, and he delivered a back suplex to Cody on the commentary table, like Randy Orton. So Owens looked into the camera, and he kept saying, "Hi, Randy." So then the show went to commercial, and then we saw in the picture-in-picture, we saw that. Kevin Owens slinged Cody Rhodes into the ring post. That happened during the picture-in-picture. And then, as the show came back, Kevin Owens ended up shoving Cody into the side to crouch him on the top rope. Owens connected with a swanton to Cody. He ended up going for the cover, and Cody ended up kicking out. Owens looked down at Cody and sized him up. Owens ended up hitting some left jabs to Cody. He then ended up going for a bionic elbow, but Cody ended up fighting Owens off. Cody then ended up hitting some jabs, and he connected with a bionic elbow. Cody ended up connecting with a run shoulder tackle to Owens. He then slingshotted over Owens and hit a snap power slam. So Cody ended up getting the crowd going, as Jesse Ventura on commentary was shouting. He was like, "What's he waiting for?" So Cody then connected with a disaster kick to Owens. He ended up going for the cover, to which Owens kicked out. So Cody Rhodes was sizing Owens up for the Cody cutter, but Owens rolled out of the ring. So Cody ended up putting the brakes on, hitting the Cody cutter, and that led to Owens super kicking Rhodes as he ended up coming to ringside. Kevin Owens then cleared off the commentary table, and he pulled Cody up. Cody ended up taking Owens out with the RKO on the commentary table, to which the table did not break, surprisingly. So Cody ended up getting Owens in the ring, and he scaled the ropes to hit the Cody cutter, to which he did. So Cody ended up going for the cover, and Owens ended up kicking out. And Jesse Ventura on commentary, he was really shocked that Owens kicked out of the Cody cutter. So Owens ended up rolling to the ropes. Cody ended up putting Owens on the top rope and started punching him. Cody then climbed the ropes and he ended up hitting a headbutt to Owens. Owens started to fight back, and Owens ended up hitting a fisherman's buster onto Cody, which looked great. So Owens ended up going for the cover, and Rhodes ended up kicking out. To which Jesse Ventura on commentary was like, "Oh, the ref slow counted Owens." And I liked how, Jesse Ventura was coming off as a heel commentator here. So this is at the point where I feel like this ending to the match was very overbooked, because Cody was going for the crossroads. Owens ended up getting out, and he shoved Cody into Charles Robinson, which knocked Charles Robinson out of the ring. So Owens connected with the stunner to Cody. He ended up going for the cover, but of course Charles Robinson was down. Another referee, Eddie Orengo, ended up running down. He ended up counting, but Cody Rhodes kicked out. And Kevin Owens was furious. He got in Eddie Orengo's face. Owens ended up going for a pop-up powerbomb, but Cody ended up getting in the way, and he delivered a super kick to Owens. Cody ended up going for the disaster kick. Owens moved out of the way, and Cody took out Eddie Orengo, so another ref was taken out. So Owens ended up sending Cody into the ring post shoulder first. Owens then ended up going out of the ring, and he grabbed a steel chair. Kevin Owens got into the ring. He ended up swinging the chair. Cody ended up ducking the shot. Cody then connected with the Cody cutter onto Owens. And then Cody hit the crossroads to Kevin Owens onto the chair. Charles Robinson got to his feet, and Charles Robinson counted from ringside. And he ended up counting the 1, 2, 3, and there you go. Cody Rhodes ended up winning the match, retaining the Undisputed WWE Championship. And on commentary, Jesse Ventura was like, "Oh, Kevin Owens, he may have brought the chair into the ring, but Cody Rhodes is the one who wound up using it." So, yeah, Jesse Ventura said that, but he did some very good commentary, Jesse Ventura, during this match. And pretty much that was basically how Saturday night's main event ended. So Cody Rhodes celebrated with the Winged Eagle Championship, and that was basically that. But my friend Datilla, who you all know, aka Rangers of Wrestling, go subscribe to her channel. She sent me a video, and this came from Twitter, from X. And after the show went off the air, Kevin Owens ended up attacking Cody Rhodes and laid Cody Rhodes out with a pile driver. So this video is coming from X here. So there's sound here. Yeah, here it is. There's the pile driver from Kevin Owens to Cody. And because of that pile driver, Cody Rhodes was stretched out of the arena. So here's the photo to prove it. It's Cody Rhodes being stretched out of the arena there. And this is all sent to from my buddy Datilla, Rangers of Wrestling. So yeah, so that all happened after the show went off the air. But overall, Saturday night's main event, very enjoyable show. Like the old school feel that it had, and the presentation of it looked great. But the next Saturday night's main event is going to be January 25th from San Antonio, Texas. But anyway, that's it for my review of tonight's Saturday night's main event. Thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed this review. Definitely give the video a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and the next video will be a movie review of Kraven the Hunter, which I am seeing tomorrow night. So I've heard mixed things about that film. Some people thought it was solid. Some people didn't like it. Some people thought it was decent. But we'll check it out tomorrow. So that'll be my next video. So stay tuned for that. So I'll see you all later.